What are the core services that an MSP actually offers? And while this video is super basic for most MSPs, I can almost guarantee you number 10 on this list, all the way at the end, is going to truly catch most of you off guard. And it should, because you 100% should be offering it. My name is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com. We help MSPs grow, whether that's sales training, marketing, or even some business operations. Before I get into today's episode, as I always mention, down in the video description, there are some super helpful links. One of those links that I want to highlight today is our Discord. It is a completely free Discord. If you don't use Discord, don't worry, it's not that hard to use, but come and hang out with us. You can join at growth-generators.com/Discord, DISCORD. And in there, tonight, if you're watching this on the day that it actually goes live, there will be a free training and a Q&A in there. Go check it out. It'll be right around 7 o'clock Eastern time, but you could join. I'll make a post about it, typically about 30 minutes before, and come and hang out with us. But there's also some other super helpful links down in the video description, or if you're listening to the podcast, that podcast description. So let's talk about the services that a managed service provider, an MSP, should be providing. And these are the core services. Now, there's always what I would consider bolt-on services where you're going to be adding it in, especially depending on the vertical that you're focusing on. You see, most MSPs focus on their core basics, which is today's video, and then as you begin to specialize or niche down, you're going to be adding on more and more of those services, and those will come in time. But these 10 specifically, you really have to get correct on day one. And the first one, I'm sure you probably already guessed it, but it's managed IT support. We as the MSP have to be proactively offering managed IT support. We want to go through and make sure that our customers are running as effectively as possible. And they're not running into the regular day-to-day issues that we are literally asking them to pay us so they can avoid that. We have to get really, really good with our managed services. Now, there are tools to help you. You have your RMM, your remote monitoring and management tool, and your PSA, your professional services automation tool. I will also leave a link down below to my favorite one. But you have to make sure that you're getting your managed services correctly on day one and progressively and consistently always trying to get better, and consistency as in maintaining the highest level of service you can truly provide, because that is what the customer is going to experience almost 100% of the time. Number two is we got to keep our clients safe. Cybersecurity. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but if we are not providing cybersecurity to our customers, now the level of cybersecurity is going to vary dramatically, and that's to be expected. Some clients, especially if they are federally regulated or have a regulatory agency, as I usually refer to as the Alphabet Club, if they have to appeal to them, then you might need to take that cybersecurity up multiple levels with either multi-factor authentication, compliance, and there's a whole list that could truly go on in there. But for the sake of this video and keeping it simple, you just have to keep cybersecurity in mind. A simple antivirus is usually the starting point. And once again, you can take it to the nth degree if you so choose. But it is important to keep that in mind as you're going through this. Number three is cloud services and cloud management. Now, this is kind of a broad one, but cloud services can vary tremendously, whether that is setting up your clients on specific industry software in the cloud. It could be also migrating them to the cloud. God forbid they still have an Exchange server on site. Thank goodness I don't have any hair left to tear out, but truly, we have to get our clients in the cloud. Businesses aren't safe, especially when it comes down to business continuity. The physical four walls that most businesses stand in is usually not enough. And just as we're having tornadoes and hurricanes, or mainly hurricanes currently happening in the United States, disaster can strike. Leave it to the big companies to make sure that data is not only spread throughout the country, but is secure in a secure facility that isn't going to be impacted by massive weather changes out there. But cloud services is super, super common, and it's just becoming more and more common. The days of an on-site server are slowly dwindling, and it's probably better for all of us that it actually does happen. There are occasionals that it does happen, but for the most part. Now, number 4, you go through, you look at the client, everything looks great. You get to the server closet, and it's a disaster. Well, that brings me to number 4, network management. Unfortunately, when they sign that contract and they hand us some money, that disaster just became our baby. I know it stinks, and some of you guys think of it as therapy. Maybe not myself, but there are people out there that truly, truly love taking care of that kind of stuff. But it's not just the physical network. It's the virtual network. It's the guest Wi-Fi. It's the business Wi-Fi. It's making sure that it has a different password other than password 1 for the generic admin password to start. And there's a whole bunch of other ones as well. But truly, we have to take over the network, and we have to make sure it's secure. We don't want employees bringing in potentially malicious computers, not that they have bad intentions, onto the business network and potentially infecting the entire network. We have to keep it as secure as possible. That way we can make sure that that business isn't going to be calling us about problems. And they probably want it to work the right way. Now, number 5, probably my absolute favorite, data backup and disaster recovery. In most cases, it is BDR, backup and disaster recovery. And this goes hand in hand with business continuity. God forbid something was to happen to the business. It's important that that data is backed up somewhere. Where? That's your choosing. And you could choose that with the assistance of your customer or not. But truly, you have to make sure that, God forbid, if something happens, employees are the weakest point in cybersecurity. It's just a matter of time before something happens. Having good backups to where you can go back one day is incredibly important, because if you have that, it's peace of mind for you, it's peace of mind for your customer, and if something truly does happen, you can usually get them up and running in as short as a few hours, which is a huge time saver as opposed to weeks of data recovery and potentially never getting that data back. Now, number 6 is, this kind of comes with the territory, but IT consulting and strategic planning. Progressively, as our customers come through the life cycle of being a customer, they are going to need upgrades. They're going to need changes to the system. They're going to need potentially, and I'm going to, little spoiler for the future, hardware, right? We, as the experts, have to be the ones that recommend it. Hey, we did some homework. We see you use this program. It requires X components, an i5, an i9. If you're a crazy person, a Xenon processor, whatever it is, a certain level of graphics cards, RAM, all of those things. We have to be the experts, and sometimes we have to do a little more legwork than we bargained for, but we are the IT consultants. We don't want to go to a customer and say, I'm not really too sure. And then you're going to have a real awkward situation coming, because they're going to go find somebody that can point them in the right direction. I'm fairly certain anybody watching this probably doesn't have to worry about it, but it does come with the territory. In most cases, it's part of your monthly bill as well, and that's a future video coming. Now, number 7, and one that I don't see people tapped into a lot, and that is VoIP services and unified communication. Now, specifically VoIP, those little devices usually sitting on people's desks. For the non-millennials out there, we pick up a phone like this. For the young kids, the younger generation, they pick up a phone like this. I don't know why. It blows my mind. But yes, there are plenty of phones out there, from Polycoms to, and I'm drawing a blank on the other super cool LED phone, but there are tons of phones out there. They are some of the easiest contracts because it is a necessity to have in every office. And usually there's a pretty good opportunity to upsell a PoE switch out there as well. But truly, we want to make sure that we are tapping into that. It is the easiest monthly recurring revenue that we can make. Yes, can it be a smaller chunk of our monthly recurring revenue? Absolutely. But does it help make a client stickier? Absolutely as well. Sell it. There's a great company called OIT VoIP. I will leave a link down below. I'm kind of affiliated with them. I know them. I don't even know if I've signed an agreement with them. I might or might not be affiliated with them, but regardless, whether or not I am, they are a super cool company. I will leave them down below. And if you see their stuff or you go check them out, let them know I sent you. So now that we've talked about VoIP, we have the next one, which is going to be hardware and software. We have to sell it. Whether or not we want to, we have to sell hardware and software. In most cases, hardware is going to come from a ton of different vendors, whether that is one of my favorites, Carbon Systems, Ingram Micro, you have TD SYNNEX, the list goes on, and dare I say Amazon, but every once in a while, we are in a pinch. We're going to have to do that. For cloud, there is something called PAX 8, PAX with the number 8. And PAX 8 is a cloud software vendor. I would highly recommend starting to build, if you're a new MSP, your partnerships with these companies. So that way, when you do need to go buy the software or hardware, it can happen pretty expeditiously. Number 9, which is that many fingers. Number 9 is, and this is kind of the spoiler, kind of not the spoiler, but onboarding and training. I truly, truly believe that MSPs need to train both their employees, obviously, but their customers as well. How to put a ticket in, how to handle certain situations, how to deal with specific customers. Depending on what kind of MSP you're running, whether you are a more general or a more niched customer, is going to determine a lot of different factors. You need to make sure that you are consistently training throughout that process, your employees and their employees. It is wildly important. Now, I said at the end, I was going to give you a golden nugget, and one service that I think every MSP needs to offer, and you guys are probably going to think about this and think it's super cheesy, but we have to care. I can't tell you how many MSPs go around super monotone. They're not excited about what they do. They're not ambitious about what they do. And it truly breaks my heart. Thankfully, I don't have these conversations all that often, but we have to care. And the only way that we're going to build a truly incredible MSP business, and I will die on this throne, is we have to care more than our customers do, and we have to care more than any of our competitors do. It is literally the secret sauce throughout that. We are managed service providers, but I challenge you to think of yourself as a managed solutions provider. We have to care. We have to truly want our clients to win. We are in a very unique industry where when our clients proceed to grow and build their business, we also get to grow and build our business. The more successful our clients become, the more successful we become. It's the best mutually beneficial partnership there is in the business world. So truly, I know it sounds super cheesy, but you really have to care, and I want you to care. I want you to love what you're doing. It's owning a business. It's going to be difficult. I would be lying to you otherwise, but I promise you there's thousands of other MSPs already doing it, and you can do it too. I believe in you. Keep with it. I hope this video helped you get over some hurdles. Come hang out with us in the Discord. By the way, if you're a new MSP starting out and you found this video super helpful, I do want you to take 2 actions. One of them, there's a masterclass down below. I would highly recommend going and checking that out. And 2, if you want a support system of other MSPs, training, and material, there will be a link to our membership down below. I highly recommend just considering it, giving it a read through. And if you think it's for you, join the community. If not, or you want to ask me some questions, reach out to us on our website, growth-generators.com. Other than that, love the heck out of you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.